he was left behind at some rental property. I don't know if you can see this. And so basically what happened is that he was just left to go. Somebody's been feeding him, but nobody's really taken responsibility for his ownership. He ended up at the shelter. Few bodies this short. Lots of people like it, so I'll do it if it's requested, but it's not going to be my go-to. Normally, I would bathe the dog first before I start removing coat to get a better finish, but right now, all we're worried about with this guy is comfort. He's actually acting okay so far, but I haven't tried to get around his legs yet. So I'm going to take a surgical blade around that area where he was injured, because it'll get the coat off more easily and help to keep the area clean. The shelter will treat it once he's back there, but we have to get it exposed for them to do so. That's ugly. She was trying to, I think the girl was trying to help get the mats off and cut a big hunk out of his tail, which is why we always recommend a professional groomer over doing dogs at home, because it's so easy to cut them, particularly in this condition. So I'm just taking off one dreadlock at a time. One more dreadlock free. You know, in this kind of situation, it's easy to want to place blame, but all I want to do is make him feel better. So he's really scared. He's got some fleas. We're going to take care of that. Good old Dawn dish soap. Once I get an area free, I'm going to cut it off, so that I'm not trying to take this off as a pelt. It's just, I can't really get through. Hang on, I got to find some scissors that I don't care about. What scissors don't I love? Oh dear. I love all my scissors. You never want to use good scissors on dirty matted coat, because it damages the blades. And when it's very expensive. Now, I'm not cutting the mats off of the body like this, and I do not recommend trying this at home. I'm just trying to get a free spot in the matting so that I can pull it apart. Lots of things that I'm probably going to do today that I would not recommend in normal grooming. Guy's being so patient right now. It's hard to believe the shelter was really concerned. And, you know, we may get to his face, or may get past his threshold. This may be a 2-session deal. It's hard to know. Dogs like this can be really unpredictable. Just where he hasn't had much interaction with people in a while. This breaks my heart. So we're just trying to get this matting off, particularly away from the area in the tail. I'll show you guys that haven't seen. He had an injury there where they were trying to help him by cutting the matting off, but but were unsuccessful and got some skin. You know, I don't blame the person who's trying to help him at all. Next time, professional groomer for this kind of thing. Preferably a vet groomer. I worked for a vet's office for a long time, so I am not unused to seeing this. This is what we would call a medical groom, because at this point it's medically necessary. So he's sensitive back here. I'm trying to just stretch the skin and be as gentle as possible and release it from right around his sanitary area. Because I've got a spot, guys. Ha ha ha. Easy, easy. So we're starting to get it free. Sometimes when dogs... I'll try and get the tail free now. It's okay, buddy. It's alright. We're just going to have to roll this back. Just a little at a time. How are you guys spending your 4th? Oh, dude, Chris, you know I'm going to give this dog belly rubs and kisses once it's done. I mean, right now it's gross. We're not doing that right now. But, so I am just trying to, so the tail is what we call a cast mat. This is very uncomfortable for him, and it's going to be awkward to get off because I'm going to have to, like, roll it down, but it's so thick, it's almost hard. Some discomfort right now. I'm sorry, little buddy. So you just basically go a millimeter at a time on a matted dog. You know, it takes a lot more time, but in the end, it's really rewarding. Thankfully, this clipper that I'm using doesn't get hot. I mean, if I use it for a really long time, I suppose it might. But I've done entire dogs with this with no trouble. I will check my blade temperature some, but... So here we go. We've got the tail halfway free. But we're getting towards the big thick spot, and it's important to not try and cut through the mat. Because if you try and cut through it, then you can do what they did up here, which is injure the dog. And I don't want to do that. He's getting sensitive about that, so we're going to leave it. So I'm going to cut part of this off so that he doesn't have that extra weight dangling. And the trash. And now I'm going to cut his sanitary area free. Because if you can see, I don't know if there's enough light to see, where it's sort of just hanging there. That's a lot of weight on that area. So I'm going to try and get that shaved out. And the whole time I'm watching to see how he's reacting to this. Oh, gracious. He is still intact. So hopefully there's not too much matting around his testicular area, because that can cause problems. Oh, we got another one free! I hope somebody names this dog Marley. This was a awesome dog. Cutting away your dreadlocks. Am I taking your spirit, buddy? I feel like Delilah right now. Cutting off Samson's hair. Except in the best way, you know. One more frame. Oh, this smells terrible. He's a good boy. I also try when I'm working on a dog like this to keep in good spirits. It's really easy for a dog to feel any anxiety that you're feeling or any, I don't know, irritation or whatever. So I always like to keep things lighthearted when I'm doing a dog like this because it's really easy to get overwhelmed with the emotion of it. Freedom! So gross. We're getting him free one dreadlock at a time, guys. Ooh, that smells terrible, buddy. What do you got to say, Murphy? That's Murphy. Murphy wants to say hi. Okay. So he's even more tense with me working on the front area. So I'm just going to be really gentle. And he may require a muzzle at some point during this process. I don't want to do that at the start. But a dog like this can be very unpredictable. So I'm just watching, and we're going to do everything we can without having to put a muzzle on him. But I will, for my safety and his, because biting down on a blade or scissors is probably not going to be good for him. Get one of these ear mats off. These are the size of like 3 golf balls. Now, when a dog has severe matting on the ends of its ears like this, the blood flow is restricted into the capillaries in the ear. So what may happen, and we'll just have to see, and I will only shave the ear in small sections because of this. But what happens is as the blood rushes back into the capillaries, irritate, like, you know, the pins and needles feeling that you get in your legs. It happens to them, and they start shaking their ears, which causes blood to actually pool in the extremities. And when that happens, it feels funny to them, so they continue shaking their head. It's kind of a self-perpetuating thing, and when that occurs, they're in danger of developing a hematoma. I have something I'm sending them home with to wrap around his little head to keep him from shaking his head when he gets there, so that hopefully we can avoid hematomas, which are really common when you're doing grooms like this. It's not something that's caused by the groomer, but it is caused by the groom, if that makes any sense at all. It's call it a side effect. So like I said, the shelter did say that he was aggressive towards them when they were trying to shave him down themselves, and so that's why they brought him to me, was they wanted to help. Ooh, this was on his ear. And so I'm going to try and shave some around his neck. He doesn't trust me, and I don't blame him. We don't have any way of knowing how much handling he's had over the years. So, and we don't know how long he was running free. Like, I'm going to scratch behind his ears, though. He's got fleas, so he's pretty uncomfortable right now, in general. And as for those of you who are just joining me, you can see the extent of the matting. This is, you know, not good. So I'm going to just try and take off the big ones that, and they're actually, for the most part, on his body, they're not attached to the skin. So that's really nice, because it means that I don't have to go so close. He's really, like I said, he's got fleas, so he's really uncomfortable. What's going on? That guy. I'm having a good time. I don't know about you guys, but honestly, this is the best way I could spend my 4th. You're okay, buddy. You're fine. So I'm going to try and get this big guy off of his ear. And then maybe work on his neck sound. So I sing to my dogs, especially when they're this nervous. So you guys are just gonna have to cope with it. I think that it helps to keep my breathing steady. And when you're upset about something like this, or a dog is nervous, they feel anything that you feel. Bye.